The tropical sun beats down on Luzon, just north of Manila, where something massive is taking shape. Bulldozers and cranes work day and night, transforming the landscape into America's newest and largest military installation in the Philippines. The scale is immense, a clear statement: the US is back in the region for the long haul. This isn't just a base, it's a symbol of a renewed alliance and deep commitment to Washington's oldest treaty partner in Asia. Sprawling runways, deep water ports for carriers and submarines, and advanced missile defense systems are all part of the blueprint. This is a forward operating post on the edge of a potential conflict zone. The message is simple: America is here to stay. Years of quiet negotiations and strategic planning led to this moment. The geopolitical map of Asia is shifting, and the US sees a strong presence here as essential for stability. This base is a multi-billion-dollar investment in the US-Philippines partnership and Indo Pacific security. As of July 23, 2025, the first phases are operational. US and Filipino soldiers are already training together on these new grounds. The sight of both nations' flags flying side by side is powerful, speaking to shared history and a common vision. But this massive buildup also raises tough questions. What does it mean for the people of the Philippines? How will it affect the balance of power in Asia? The answers will shape the region's destiny for decades. This is more than construction, it's a turning point. The world is watching. The stakes couldn't be higher. To understand this base, you have to see the bigger picture: the growing US-China rivalry. For decades, the US dominated the Pacific, its navy ensuring freedom of navigation and alliances forming a security umbrella. But China's rapid rise has changed the game. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea, building military bases on artificial islands and projecting power far from its shores. Chinese vessels now harass neighbors, including the Philippines. The US sees this as a direct threat to international norms and its own role as regional security provider. American warships now conduct freedom of navigation operations, sailing close to Chinese-claimed islands. Tensions run high, a dangerous game of cat and mouse. This isn't just about military might, it's a battle of influence. The US promotes a free and open Indo-Pacific, strengthening alliances. China offers economic incentives, pulling countries into its orbit. The Philippines is caught in the middle, a pivotal nation in a struggle for Asia's future. Every move here is watched by both Washington and Beijing. The stakes are global, the region is on edge. The outcome will define the Pacific century. The US-Philippine relationship is a story of colonialism, war, partnership, and deep disagreements. It began in 1898 when the US took the Philippines from Spain, leading to a brutal war and decades of American rule. World War II forged powerful bonds as both nations fought side by side against Japan. Independence came in 1946, but the alliance endured, anchored by the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. For decades, US bases at Clark and Subic Bay were critical during the Cold War. But for many Filipinos, these bases symbolized American dominance and sparked nationalist protests. In 1991, the Philippine Senate rejected a new treaty, and US forces left, a historic assertion of sovereignty. But the power vacuum allowed China to assert its claims in the South China Sea. The Philippines, with limited military power, struggled to defend its waters. Old resentments linger, but a new threat has shifted perspectives. Historical ties, once seen as a burden, are now viewed by many as a necessary shield. The alliance is being redefined by necessity. The past shapes the present, but the future demands new choices. The US return is not just about history, it's about survival. The partnership is evolving. The stakes are higher than ever. The region's security depends on what happens next. The story continues. Geography is destiny. The Philippines sits at the crossroads of the Pacific and South China Sea, vital shipping lanes and potential flashpoints. Its islands form a natural barrier, making it invaluable to any global power. To the north lies Taiwan, a potential conflict zone that could draw in the US. A base in northern Philippines is a crucial staging ground for any Taiwan contingency. To the west, the South China Sea is contested by China and the Philippines. Chinese vessels patrol and intimidate, blocking Filipino fishermen. The new US base enables joint patrols and surveillance, sending a clear signal to Beijing. Recent Philippine governments have shifted back toward Washington after attempts to court China. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA, allows the US to build and pre-position equipment at Philippine bases. This megabase is the largest project under EDCA, a product of renewed political will. The timing is critical, the region is tense, the Philippines is once again the gatekeeper of Asia's security. The US presence here changes the strategic equation. The world's eyes are on Luzon, the stakes are regional and global. The Philippines is at the center of the storm. The future of Asia may be decided here. The clock is ticking. The American return has sparked fierce debate across the Philippines. Many in government and the military welcome it, seeing the US as the only realistic defense against China's aggression. They point to Chinese intimidation, water cannons, militia boats, blocked fishing grounds. For them, the US presence is a deterrent and a path to military modernization. But opposition is strong. Memories of social problems around old US bases linger. Crime, exploitation, and fears of becoming a target in a US-China conflict. Critics demand an independent foreign policy, free from foreign military dependence. Protests are common, with groups arguing the EDCA violates the Constitution. They see the base as a magnet for conflict, not a shield. The question remains, is this alliance for the Philippines' benefit, or is the country a pawn in a bigger game? The nation is divided. The government faces a major challenge. The debate is far from over. The future hangs in the balance. The new project is a massive overhaul of Cesar Basa Air Base in Pampanga. Billions are being spent to create a state-of-the-art installation, extended runways for heavy bombers and advanced fighters, vast support facilities, fuel depots, munitions bunkers, and high-tech command centers are being built. Thousands of US troops will rotate through, ready for high-intensity conflict. Integration with Subic Bay naval facilities creates a powerful air-sea combination, controlling the Luzon Strait and northern South China Sea. This is more than an air base. It's a regional hub for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Long-range drones and spy planes will monitor the entire South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. The Philippines gains a clearer picture of its maritime domain. Enhanced situational awareness is a game-changer for defending sovereignty. The base is designed for modern warfare, not just training. It's a force multiplier for both nations. The strategic impact is enormous. The region will never be the same. The megabase brings economic promises, thousands of jobs, local contracts, and a boost for businesses. Infrastructure improvements and US financial aid can benefit communities. But history warns of pitfalls, inflation, social problems, and the risk of exploitation. Some fear a repeat of the dark legacy of old bases, rising costs and vulnerable populations. There's also the danger of economic dependence on the base. If the US leaves, local economies could collapse. Critics argue for investment in other sectors for more stable growth. The challenge is to manage the benefits and risks. Prosperity tied to foreign strategy is fragile. The debate over the base is also a debate about the Philippines' future. The choices made now will echo for generations. The stakes are not just military, they're economic and social. The new US base sends shockwaves across Southeast Asia. Countries with disputes against China, like Vietnam, quietly approve, seeing a counterbalance to Beijing. Others, like Malaysia and Indonesia, worry about escalating tensions and being forced to choose sides. ASEAN's unity is under pressure. US allies like Japan and Australia support the move, deepening military cooperation and intelligence sharing. The base becomes a hub in a growing network of alliances. China sees it as a hostile act, part of a strategy to contain its rise. Beijing may respond with more military buildup and economic pressure. The region is becoming more tense and militarized. Every nation is recalculating its position. The balance of power is shifting. The risk of confrontation is rising. The world is watching Southeast Asia. The new US megabase marks a new era for the Indo Pacific. It's a long-term commitment, not a temporary measure. Regional stability now hinges on what happens here. The Philippines has bet on its alliance with the US, hoping for security and sovereignty. But it must avoid becoming a proxy in a larger conflict. Deep divisions at home remain unresolved. The region faces heightened tension and the risk of miscalculation. More warships and aircraft mean more chances for accidental crisis. The South China Sea is more crowded and dangerous. The base is a symbol of a new global reality. The US will compete to defend its interests. The hope is for stable deterrence. The fear is a new Cold War, or worse. Millions of lives hang in the balance. The next chapter is being written now.